So we are going to take a look at Xaku. Xaku is a Warframe made up with art from the community, with powers from the community, and you're going to see Xaku in action right now.
Salutations everyone, my name is Silta and welcome to the video. As some of you may know, Xaku was confirmed to be released with the Heart of Deimos on August 25th and their power kit was revealed during the TennoCon live event. Xaku is a broken warframe assimilated from other long-forgotten warframes. You can see they are held together by void energy. Rebecca did confirm that this warframe is non-binary, there is no gender to it, so I'll be using non-binary pronouns, respectively, to refer to them. Xaku comes with a custom dodge animation where they let their armor come apart momentarily while they dash forward. This is similar to Wisp's dodge animation with a dash, and might I say that this is an amazing animation. I love how fluid it looks, and especially the sound design for it, as you can hear the armor expand outward. It's a very liquid, fluid form, which I can really appreciate.
So with one of the things we've done with some of our newer Warframes are, you know, a custom dodge animation.
Whoa. You can even see in their idle animation that the armor will vibrate as they reach out and take off their mask, all in accordance to the theme that they're composed of broken Warframe parts.
For the idol?
I am waiting for the idol. We're going to take a closer look at Xaku here.
There's a few idols for this one.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
What's happening here?
There's a
Rebecca explains that Xaku was designed with void themes in mind by community submitted abilities. Their first animation is actually called Xaku's Whisper. The ability imbues all of Xaku's currently equipped weapons with void damage, which will synergize with the rest of their kit. Now this is interesting to me because void damage is practically useless unless it's against sentience or the stalker's shadow form, because as most of you know, void damage can shred any built-up resistances that these enemies gain while you fight them. Xaku's second ability, Grasp of Lock, is the ability to disarm enemies using void tentacles pulled from the void. Rebecca does confirm that this will scale with enemy level, so I hope this means that we can use higher level enemy guns against them, and it still does just as much damage as it does against us.
I think I missed, but that's okay. So you gotta get up close and personal, and now I have their weapons floating with me to attack.
Oh,
so as you can see,
whoa, what?
I've taken their weapons. It will scale with enemy level.
Yeah.
So they will deal, their damage output is based on
their level.
On their level.
An interesting side note about the name of this ability is that Lock is actually one of the Orcish words of power. Rebecca begins to state that Xaku is not planned for Eidolon hunting at present time, because the Eidolon shields will not be compatible with Xaku's void-infused first ability. Steve starts to sound a little odd here, as if she's letting on too much information, or that this is likely to change in the future. So we'll have to see if Xaku can actually be used to take down Eidolons when he releases, and personally, I really hope that this is the case. I would like to see an easier method for taking down Eidolons with a void-based frame. It only seems natural to me that you should be able to make an Eidolon hunting build with a void-based warframe. Xaku's third ability is the Lost, a combination of 3 different modes all created by the community that you will be able to switch between. You can't see it on the live stream because they turned off the UI, so we'll quickly go through each one that was discussed. So if Xaku is technically 3 different warframes combined into one, you're playing 4 warframes, so doesn't that mean that you have your own squad at that point? Congratulations, you're no longer a solo player if you take Xaku. The first ability is called Gaze. Xaku wraps them up in void tentacles and acts as a debuff area of effect for any enemies caught in its radius. This will lower their defense so they take some damage from all attack types. It will remove their shields, their armor, and any sort of defense that they have on them. This is something I rather enjoy in Warframe's power kits, which we don't have enough of. Warframes that have armor shredding or defense removal abilities. You'll probably need to make a build to remove a good portion of high level enemies' defenses to make this ability worth it. However, I can see this being a very often used ability, but I can see the potential in it for high level missions. The second of these 3 sub abilities is called Deny, that deals direct damage to enemies or a crowd control effect if the enemy survives the initial damage done. And I'll be honest, I don't know what Deny's ability does to surviving enemies. They just said it will create another crowd control effect on surviving enemies. So I'll just have to see what that is when it comes out. The third sub ability is called the Accused. Xaku creates a radial fissure. If enemies are trapped within this, it looks as if they begin to attack one another, and it just looks like this is another form of crowd control. This is very similar to Nyx's ability and Revenant's Thrall ability. I kind of wish they went for something different here because we have enough frames that can turn enemies against one another. Not to mention that radiation procs do the same thing to enemies, so I don't know. This one feels a little pointless. I just wish they went for something more unique with this, but you know, you give and you take. Finally, we have Xaku's final ability, which is called the Vast Untime. This is by far a pretty amazing ability. I think visually it is one of the most interesting I've seen in a while from Warframe. Xaku will explode, sending their armor pieces everywhere, while enemies are damaged by the shrapnel from their armor. On the stream, they said that this will be another debuff effect to enemies. Enemies caught in the blast radius will be slowed down and also be weakened to void damage, making Xaku's first ability important for dealing extra damage to enemies affected by it. Meanwhile, Xaku's form is more skeletal and becomes that of void energy. This is a huge buff to Xaku's survivability as they will have 75% more damage reduction. You will be more evasive from attacks and have an increased speed bonus. And you will of course be able to assemble your parts at any time or until you run out of energy, so you can recast their form multiple times to keep the debuffs going around you. And yeah, basically you're just Sans, alright? Let's get the joke out of the way. You're Sans Undertale because you're an unhittable skeleton. Okay, bro, play Megalovania. Yep, let's get this joke going out of the way. It's been played to death by now. I'm excited to see how Xaku plays in the game when they come out with Heart of Deimos. It'll be an exciting frame to play, and I really just hope the grind is worth it. I feel like open world grinds for Warframes have always been very, very long and tedious. I still haven't gotten Barak or... did you say Barak? Baruch or Hildren. God, I gotta leave that in. I just feel like Deimos will be locked behind a faction grind with all the other new equipment that we'll be trying to get, but Xaku will definitely be a goal for me to obtain. Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to do with Xaku, how you want to build them, maybe some fashion frame ideas. I know I want to go for an orange copper look to them because they showed that on the dev stream and I thought it was very pretty. I really hope that armor cosmetics can also be detached from them with their fourth ability, but that's just me. I'm super excited to see the color schemes I can come up with when it releases. Another final touch I'd like to add to this video is the fact that the Ivera Levirian may hint towards the 3 frames used to create Xaku. It's stated in her Levirian that she and 3 other frames were attacked by an assassin and only she survived. So it might just be speculation, but it's possible the other 3 frames with Ivera during these events were what Xaku is made of today. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving the video a like. I really appreciate it. I've been working very hard and around the clock to edit these TennoCon highlights, so if you can help support me in the channel, I'd really appreciate it, genuinely. I have a Discord server you can join. I often help new players in the Warframe community who need assistance. Alternatively, I have a Twitter, you can always DM me on there. Oh, and I have a Twitch for when I do live streams, so go check it out if you can and give me a follow. You'll know when I go live with more Warframe content. Anyways, I've been Silta, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.